All right, to watch this video for Thursday, excuse me, May 19th. Just a quick glance at the SPY. It did peak below that sort of neckline today. I'll show you on an intraday basis what it looked like. This was when the FOMC minutes came out. I always try to be in cash when an event like that comes out. And the chat room did a good job of reminding everybody, hey, that's getting ready to come out. And even Twitter and stock twits, if you follow anything like that, generally someone's going to give you a heads up. The FOMC minutes are getting ready to come out. I get the cash. Because you don't know if this is going to happen, but you know it might. It could also have gone the other way, so even if I was short, I would have gone to cash. So anyway, so you had to come a long way to get down there and kind of take out that neckline. And so you got a snapback bounce. Was this just another retest and another hold, or is it roll over tomorrow? I have no idea. But it's been an interesting week, to say the least. Here's the watch list I have for tomorrow. PACB doesn't look that, compelling, right? But when you go on an intraday basis, this is kind of when you're a day trader, this kind of stuff that catches your attention. Really big volume move, and from below 9 to almost 972, or somewhere around 972, and closed pretty strong, right? It looked like it was giving it all back, and then in the afternoon, closed pretty strong. So I want to watch for a red to green, something like that tomorrow. That was a nice move today. EBIO, let me zoom in a little bit. I like this chart. You had the spike, lower high again, but a tight flag right below this trend line. Today's high was $1.25. Yesterday's high, $1.28. The spike was $1.29, the spike day, for lack of a better term. So watching for a break of this little tight flag here, and this one could be a nice trade. So EBIO goes on watch. I'm going to say the first trigger, probably $1.26, knowing, and I'll just go back to the daily here and zoom in, $1.26 break of today's high. I try to put those numbers in my notes. And then you have yesterday's high. I'll put $1.29, and then again the high of the spike up day would be $1.29. So $1.30 will break that. So you basically have, and then you look to the left, and you have this spike up to $1.55. You have this spike up to $1.70. So this is a potential breakout. Pretty handsome chart there for EBIO. So we're going to keep an eye on that one. MCUR had this huge move here. Came back, little baby bounce, but really nice support, and it broke out of this nice support area today. So I'm watching for a red to green, something like that. Today's high was $1.25. So $1.26 is certainly a catalyst. Looking to the left, you could say that if it gets to $1.26, it might break this high of $1.30, right? And over that, maybe it retests this high. So it's definitely set up pretty nicely. A little extra volume today on that little breakout too. So MCUR goes on watch. LB, let me get this line off of there. This one's interesting to me. Really beaten up. I don't know if they pre-announced or they gave some sort of heads up that, hey, earnings are going to suck coming out, right? But then earnings came out after the bell today. So this shocked it, and then it tailed lower, and then it had a big flush into earnings. And I was actually thinking in after hours, this might be worth a long, but looking at it now, and I don't really trade after hours, it's at 60.50. So if it opens somewhere around there tomorrow, that's down here. Whenever you're this beaten up and then earnings comes out and you think, okay, it's a sell because earnings suck, a lot of times you can get a really nice bounce, especially if it gaps down, because it's already beaten up coming into earnings. So, and one bonus, it's Victoria's Secret. What kind of guy doesn't want to invest in that? So there's another reason. But anyway, I'm watching this on a gap down, maybe a little sell-off, and then a red to green. So that one's on watch for a bounce. LB. WSM. This one, I don't know how many, 6, 7 red days in a row. Today, a little wider range than the ones previous to it. And you look to the left, and that was also the January low, 47.33. So it's come a long way to get down there, and kind of a big move today. And then today's low was 47.66. So I wouldn't mind to see an early sell-off and then maybe look for an intraday reversal, or maybe we get a gap down or something like that, like I just talked about with LB. So WSM, just looking for a bounce here off the January lows. GBSN is going to look weird. Excuse me, it's going to look weird when I bring it up because you just can't see anything. You have to zoom in on this one. But it had 11 million shares traded today. I made one call in this one today. And here's what I'll show you my call real quick to kind of give you an idea what I look for in the chat room. I didn't even spot this till it probably looked like this, okay? Somebody in the chat room pointed out, getting volume in GBSN, and we know this is a lower float stock that it has potential to rip, but I can't chase it. I can't teach people to chase it, and I certainly can't chase it myself. So I didn't take any kind of trade in it. Then I had to go have blood drawn during this period, or I might have been watching for a pullback. And I joked around on Twitter that actually having blood drawn was more fun than trading this morning. But anyway, when I got back, you had this nice little flag right here. This is what I liked because, this went up to over 320. Then it put in a lower high. Then it took out this lower high, and you're flagging. So I'm looking for a push through 3 to maybe retest and squeeze, right? Retest the high of day and squeeze. So I believe I called this at 299 because that's a break of this high. And I think a 284 stop, something like that, 285 stop. So there's a trigger. It does a little pullback, doesn't hit the stop, and then just got crazy. And so from 299, it went up almost a buck, which is pretty darn good percentage gain, on that price of a stock. So I still, let's go back. No, can't do that. Can't go to the daily. I still like the way it held up. It closed at 362. So maybe a red to green in this one tomorrow. I mean, anything's going to feel like chasing after that kind of a move, but as you know, anything can happen. So definitely going to watch this for the next week or so. But maybe we catch a trade in it tomorrow, right? MGT, this is why I wasn't that interested in a gapper this morning, right? Because coming into today, it looked like this. I mean, actually coming into yesterday, I wasn't that interested in putting it on as a gapper because it was so extended. And then yesterday, it gaps and rips. And then today, it opens above yesterday's high, so it's crazy. But I expected some massive selling in this one sometime today. I also don't short these low float stocks, so I just didn't do anything with it. But you know what? This might, after this kind of move, this one-day massive sell-off might be enough to get folks interested. If we can get a narrow range tomorrow and then an upside break, we might be able to get a nice percentage gain in a very short period of time. And as a day trader, that's what I look for. So I am actually going to watch MGT tomorrow. I don't have any kind of clue how it's going to open or how it's going to act, but if it gives me one of the setups I look for, I might be able to get a really nice low risk trade. CCXI, this feels extended. It's away from the moving averages, but I want to watch it anyway. I had a nice close. Wayne, one of our moderators in chat today, alerted this when it looked like this. We've been watching this one because it's a recent high flyer. If you watch my videos, you know I focus on recent high relative volume stocks, and when I say recent, I really mean within the past week or so. I don't want to go any farther back than that because those are the ones you get the nice moves on. Wayne's idea was if it gets through 4, right? Look at this. So it gets through 4. Your worst case stop's always going to be like below the previous 5-minute candle. So you're talking a 4 trigger, 401, 390 stop. And look at this thing. It goes all the way to actually almost. It closed strong. Goes all the way to almost a 5. So 482 at its highest. And an excellent call by Wayne. Again, feels extended, but maybe we get a gap down in a red to green. So I'm gonna have to watch this one for the next several days. And then lastly, sorry about the ALQA. This one had a spike back here, did nothing for about a month, and then another spike here, which took out this spike's high. So maybe a follow-through day tomorrow. This big volume spike here still wasn't even 1 million shares, so definitely a thinner stock. Today's high 119. Anything could happen if it gets through that, so I'm going to have ALQA on watch. We'll work together and find some gappers in the morning as well to possibly stock, but we should get some nice percentage gainers out of this list, if not tomorrow, sometime over the next several days. So keep your eyes on pretty much most of these that I had on the list because I like a lot of them, all right? Enjoy the rest of your evening, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.